Okay, let's talk about AI and marketing. Because it isn't just changing the game anymore, it's completely rewriting the rulebook. We're not talking about another new tool here. No, this is a fundamental shift in how businesses even think about connecting with people. But with this kind of power comes some serious responsibility. So in this explainer, we're going to break down the good, the bad, and the practical steps you need to be thinking about for the road ahead. And if you're thinking this is all some far-off futuristic thing, well, think again. Get this, within just the next 3 years, a staggering 78% of marketers are expected to be using AI. This isn't some slow-moving trend. It's a tidal wave, and it's happening right now. So let's be absolutely clear. The AI wave isn't on the horizon. We are smack in the middle of it. The debate is pretty much over. The question is no longer if you should adopt AI, but how you're going to do it. And honestly, getting that how right, doing it effectively and ethically, that's going to be the one thing that separates the leaders from everyone else.
So, what do we actually mean when we say AI in marketing? Because it's not just one thing, right? It's really a whole suite of powerful technologies that are changing every single part of the job.
It's easiest to think about it in 3 parts. First up, you've got predictive AI. This is kind of like your crystal ball. It looks at all your past data and tells you what your customers are probably going to do next. Then you have prescriptive AI, which is like your personal strategist. It takes those predictions and says, okay, based on that, here's what you should do. And then there's the one everyone's talking about, generative AI. That's the creator, the artist. It can write ad copy, design images, and roll out personalized campaigns at a scale that's just mind-boggling.
All right, so we've got these incredible, almost superpower-like tools at our fingertips, but with that power comes a huge choice. We're really standing at a crossroads here, looking at incredible promise on one side and some very real danger on the other. And understanding both sides of this coin, that is absolutely key to navigating what's coming.
On the one hand, the promise is just huge. We're talking about massive boosts to your ROI, making split-second decisions with way more confidence, and a level of hyper-personalization that used to be pure science fiction. But then you flip the coin. The peril is just as big. We're up against the real risk of algorithmic bias, serious data privacy issues, and the potential to completely destroy the consumer trust that brands spend decades building.
So let's actually dig into that dark side for a second, because ignoring the ethics here isn't just bad form, it's a massive business risk. And what consumers are thinking and what's already happening in the real world is making that clearer every single day.
And this isn't some abstract academic debate. The numbers show that 2 out of every 5 consumers, that's 40%, are already worried about how ethically AI is being used. That's a huge chunk of your audience that's watching you, and they're ready to walk if they feel like you're being sketchy with their data or making unfair decisions.
And these fears, they're totally grounded in reality. The idea of algorithmic bias can feel a little fuzzy, but let's look at a concrete example, the Allegheny Family Screening Tool. It was designed to help assess risk for kids, but it turned out to have higher error rates for certain racial groups. It's a really stark reminder that when you feed a system biased data, you get biased and sometimes harmful results.
And this all boils down to one thing: data. It's all about the data. As Tim Brunk from MetaRouter points out, bad data doesn't just mess up your results. It can lead to huge fines, and maybe even worse, it can make people stop trusting you completely. The stakes, well, they really couldn't be higher. Okay, so we've seen the incredible potential, and we've stared into the abyss of the risks. So the big question is, now what? How do we actually use all this good stuff while making sure we avoid the bad? It all starts with having a clear, actionable plan.
Look, bringing AI into your work isn't about just buying some software and flipping a switch. It's a cycle. You have to start by knowing exactly what you're trying to achieve. Then, take a hard look at what you're doing now and find the gaps. Then you can choose the right tools for that specific job. But the most important step is the last one. You have to constantly monitor your results, learn from them, and adapt. It's a loop, not a straight line to a finish.
But here's the kicker. You can follow all those steps perfectly and still fail spectacularly, because the best tools on the planet are worthless, or worse, dangerous, if you don't have strong ethical guardrails in place to guide them. This is the other half of the puzzle, and you can't succeed without it. So what do these guardrails actually look like? Well, first, you gotta put data privacy above everything else. Then you need to constantly be auditing your systems, actively hunting for bias. Make sure your training data is diverse. And this is a big one. Always, always keep a human in the loop. Finally, just be transparent about what you're doing. These aren't just suggestions. In today's world, they're non-negotiable. Which brings us to the final and most important question of all. AI is handing marketers a level of power we've never seen before. The power to persuade, to predict, to personalize on an unbelievable scale. The challenge for every single one of us is deciding how we're going to use that power. Are we going to use it to build deeper, more authentic trust? Or are we going to use it to break it? The choice really is ours.